Good evening. It is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, August 19th, 2025, and I'm calling the Village of North Hudson Park Board meeting to order. Commissioner Flater.
Here.
Commissioner Ryder, absent. Commissioner Helgeson, absent. Commissioner Martinez.
Here.
Commissioner Ortner.
Here.
Commissioner Wolf, absent. And Mary McGurran, Chair, is here. Second item, review and approve minutes from the Park Board meeting of July 15th, 2025. These minutes are posted on the village website. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Ortner, a second by Commissioner Martinez. Any questions, comments, inaccuracies?
Nope.
And all those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Next item on the agenda is comments from the floor. This is an opportunity for Village of North Hudson residents and property owners and business owners to make the Park Board aware of topics, issues, or opportunities that are on or not on tonight's agenda. Does anyone have any public comment? Please come to the microphone, say your name and where you live, and we're happy to hear your comment.
Amy Noonan, 3237 7th Street North. I just want to thank this committee for your diligence, your open-mindedness, and your enthusiasm toward all these new ideas and projects that I see and hear coming up on the agenda, and the welcoming, just so welcoming and willing to hear what community members have to say. It's a joy to come to these meetings. Thank you for your hard work and dedication.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. So
Thank you.
Amy.
Thank you.
Any other comments, public comments from the floor? We'll give you a minute, Sarah, if you want to take your sunglasses off and sign in. It's okay. Yeah, please come up to the microphone and say your name and make your comment.
Hi,
Sorry,
I'm very nervous because I know my public speaking.
You're only on television. It's okay.
Once you do it about 5-10 times, it'll be easy.
I know. My knees are shaking right now. Anyway, I'm Billy Jo Nielsen. I live at 609 Galahad Road North in Hudson. So I just wrote a little something because I get a little scatterbrained because I don't like public speaking. So my concern is about the parking lot at Browns Beach. So my husband and I bought our house in December of last year. We love getting to know our neighbors. We love it. And again, thank you for the great additions to our park services like the stairs and the hand railings. Fantastic. It makes it really nice and easy to get down there for me and my family. The proposal to add the parking lot at Browns Beach raises some concerns about the necessity and impact. The motivation behind the development is unclear, especially given that the parking demand is minimal, in my opinion. Typically, there's no more than 2 cars there at any given time. For example, last weekend at Pepperfest, it's very hot and humid. There was 0 to 2 cars parked on the street throughout basically the entire weekend. In fact, on my way here today, there was 0 cars parked there, and it's almost 90 degrees outside. This makes the financial responsibility of constructing and maintaining this parking lot questionable, particularly when weighed against the philosophy of protecting natural environment and using resources wisely. A couple of things I had read in some previous minutes is the gravel next to the staircase, it washes out. So if there's going to be snow plowed onto that parking lot, I'm concerned for erosion of those brand new staircases and things like that. Also currently, garbage trucks and snow plows don't go down that road. I don't know if this is something that will be impacted, but I'd imagine those snow plows and things like that could quickly damage the street that's on. Some environmental concerns. There's some beautiful deer families that live behind my house. I think that taking out more trees or putting a paved parking lot would decrease that for those poor little cute deer. I frequent that beach all the time with me and my 2 girls and my husband. We always leave the beach with a handful of garbage and glass, and I'm afraid that putting a parking lot in there permanently would bring up littering up into my backyard, which I do not want. I'm also concerned that there's no bathroom at Browns Beach, that having a wooded parking lot would invite people to urinate or defecate back there in my wooded property, as well as my adjacent neighbors here as well. I am also concerned that it is a wooded parking lot. You can't see it very clearly from Galahad Road. Just worried for our safety of our neighborhood with vehicles wanting to park overnight or when the beach is closed past the hours. I read in past notes from a 2014-2019 park plan that they had mentioned that Ferry's Landing Park was Hudson's key access to its number one amenity, our beautiful St. Croix River. Improvements to that park should be considered while protecting the river and park from overuse, and I feel like the same should hold true for Browns Beach. So my kind of summary of all of that is that there's rarely more than 2 to 4 vehicles. I'm just wondering if it's financially responsible to put in that paved parking lot. There also is a concern, is it going to result in overuse or misuse of this mini beach and the surrounding areas? And then also my concern for the snow dumping and erosion concerns. And then we were just wondering if there is a parking lot put in, will the street parking be totally eliminated? Is the police department going to monitor that and make sure that parking is not happening overnight or past the hours? Also wondering about future developments, like things, are they going to be adding streetlights for that parking lot? And then any future plans for bathroom facilities or even including a porta potty? So those are my concerns with that proposal for the parking lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Billy Joe.
Thank you.
Other comments for this evening, public comment? Your name and address.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Sarah Schwalbach. I live at 1247 10th Street North here in North Hudson. I am not as well prepared as you were. That was very well said. I just wanted to, I've been coming consecutive months now, and really just see my interest and role here as being a bit of a deckhand, wanting to support the efforts that are being proposed for park improvement. Particularly my initial interest and still my top interest in coming to these meetings. I told my daughter when I was leaving tonight, Mommy's going to a meeting to help make our parks more fun. So, just trying to continue to improve the park equipment for our kiddos and be able to meet the needs of a broader range of kids and just be looking to consolidate our efforts with the parks. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here tonight. And thanks for inviting us to be a part of this conversation. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments for this evening? Okay, before I close public comment, I just want to say that we aren't, the way that meetings are set up, we don't respond to the things that we heard, but we do hear the things that we heard, and we take them under consideration. And I think that some of the things that maybe Matt can address in his comments regarding I think we have you on here, director update, maybe about the parking lot and some of the details, and then the other things we can just take under consideration. Does that sound good, Matt? Okay. All right. So public comment is closed. The next item is the St. Croix Bike and Pedestrian Trail Coalition discussion and possible recommendations. So at our last meeting, we recommended to the Board of Trustees that we do a public education event to help the public understand what the St. Croix Bike and Pedestrian Trail Coalition is proposing and try to help get some more education for the community. And the board declined to support that because there's concerns about current votes that are happening tomorrow, actually, or things that are on the agenda tomorrow regarding this, that area in regards to the comprehensive plan. So comprehensive plan has recommendations about that area that the board wanted to see if those recommendations passed. And then also there is a request to rezone that some of that area from light industrial and conservancy to multifamily home. So the board wanted to see what the Plan Commission proposed. So they asked us to hold on doing public education as a park committee in cooperation with St. Croix Bike and Pedestrian Trail Coalition. But Susan Huser is here this evening to give us, and Amy, both, I guess, are here to give us an update. I'm not sure which one of you are going to take the microphone. Susan? You can, but I'm asking you to give an update. I know you have an update ready for us, so this is, yeah.
If you want to do anything, Susan, just let me know.
Okay. Well, I need to just let you know that our group haven't met since you met last month. We are going to meet Monday, August 25th. And on the agenda, as it has been for a number of months, really a couple of years, is a public forum to tell whoever would be willing to come what we've been doing for the last 3 years. It would have been wonderful to have your help to do that, but we can talk about it as a Trestle Park Committee, and we can hold that on our own if that's what the group wants to do. So it's not a done deal yet, and maybe it depends on how things are going to go this week, I think, at the village, at a couple of meetings, whether the board would consider allowing you all to help us again. But we can go with a meeting on our own. We've been planning that for quite a while. Our National Park Service person, that's what they do when they work with people like our committee. They work on all the ideas, and then they have an open house and they explain what they've been working on. So we know how to do that. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks. Susan, can you spell your name for the record? Your last name.
Susan Heiser. I live in Stillwater.
And spell your last name. Just spell your last name so we get it right on.
Heuiser.
Thank you. It's for the record, for the minute takers, so they get it right. Okay. Any other discussion from the park board on that agenda item? Okay. We are going to close item 4 and go to 5, village tree canopy, discussion and possible recommendations. I'm going to turn this over to Matt to lead our discussion.
The board did approve funds to remove more right-of-way trees that were affected by, or that are affected by emerald ash borer. The park board will be coming to the park board, because once we're done with the right-of-ways, we're gonna go after the parks. So, it's just on there basically, because during budgeting season, the parks board is gonna have to ask for a sum of money to get rid of some of these. It's more than just emerald ash borer. There's, some dead oaks and a bunch of stuff throughout. There's about probably 60 trees throughout our parks that we gotta address that have been, problematic. So the park board, I'll provide the list, and then they can determine if they want to recommend it for funding.
So the village board did provide funding at
For
the
the
last board
right-of-way.
meeting for the right-of-way.
So that's all like in front
removal.
of people's houses and where the utilities are, but we don't have any funds for park properties. So in the 2026 budget, we'll be identifying the parks that we want to try to tackle this coming year.
And when will we get that at the next meeting, or when do you think we'll get the estimate to move forward to the board, or decide what we're going to put in our budget to move forward to the board?
Well, we've got an estimate right now, and we're sitting somewhere around like 42,000, but we plan on doing it over a couple years, not all at once, unless the board decided to do a one-time spend instead of transferring money to the parks.
And Matt, is that only for removal or replacement?
Right now, it's only for removal. If we want to do replacement, the grant is due October 1st. It's already done and filled out. They don't review them until then. And that's what the replacement money should come if we get selected through the EAB startup grant, which we got the previous year.
So that's all ready to go. We don't need to do anything at the park board level to do a
No,
replacement?
because the grant is non-committal, so I just do it, and then if we get approved,
Okay.
then you guys would decide if you want to put forth your 50% and then the DNR will match the other 50. So it doesn't have to go through park board because I'm not committing the village to anything at this point. That comes after we would get selected.
Should we put that in our 2026 budget, though?
Correct, yep.
Okay.
To budget for it, and then if we don't use it, then it'll fall back into unassigned, but it's goofy because we budget before the grants are awarded. So we would ask for it, and if we don't get the grant, then the money would go back into the unassigned fund if it wasn't utilized.
And do we know how much the,
5,000.
5,000? How many
5,000
trees is
match.
that?
They average about 800 to 1,200 apiece when they're the ones that the village staff can't handle.
And how many are we taking out?
I think there's like 32 ash trees and then a dozen or so oak trees and a few maples that are dead. Most of them aren't actually in the parks. They're in easements or chunks of land that the village owns that aren't utilized, but they still are next to, they have neighboring residents or property, so we have to make sure we get them removed before they cause any damage to the surrounding property owners.
So we don't do a removal and replacement one-to-one?
We haven't been, no. I think, so the stuff on the scenic riverway, it says that if you have a certain amount of trees per acre, so we haven't had to at Browns Beach, and then the other parks, honestly, there's not room for trees, it's overgrown forest. So the responsible thing would be to thin them out so they can get sunlight and continue to grow.
You mean in the ravine parks?
Yep.
Yeah, but how about the parks?
Those ash trees are gone, the village staff did those themselves. So the actual parks where the playgrounds are taken care of. Now we're talking about the kind of more overgrown section of lands that are a strip of land because there's an easement by somebody's house or things like that.
It would be good to know if there's like room for more trees. I don't know, what do you guys think about parks and replacement trees?
Once they're removed, I suppose
Yep, and I think that was the idea that we were gonna try to do with that grant is replacement of the trees, if we're awarded that.
But that's like, sounds like 4 to 5 trees, and we're taking out,
Oh, no, the removal is 8 to 1,200 a tree. To put in the trees, we can get ball and burlap trees for anywhere from 40 to 150 bucks, depends on
oh,
the species.
okay.
Yep,
Okay, so the 5,000 will be,
for the
Okay.
trees to get removed.
got it, okay, thank you, got it now.
Thank you for that. I was thinking, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Oh, no, these are just.
These are big trees.
And we can, and if the park board wants to take it on, we talked about it a couple months ago, there wasn't much feedback before you took over. If we wanted to become like a tree city, there's all sorts of different funds and funding that we can get. We had a couple members who really smashed it down, so it never went anywhere. But it would be something great to revisit because there's grants, there's community involvement, there's amazing things, and it is not a communist regime that wants to take all our trees, like was stated in the park board meeting. It's a great nonprofit that helps communities out immensely.
Okay, so I.
Well, it needs to be stated.
So we are here
Question?
to have possible recommendations. Yes, please.
So are the removal of the trees, does the village staff do that, or is that contracted out?
70% the village does, the 30% that where you need a crane or a high lift, we don't have it, nor are we trained in that, so we hired, that's the portion we're asking to be funded.
Okay.
Is there interest on the park board for Tree City?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we make a motion recommendation so that Matt can move forward in getting us more information about that?
I would motion to move that forward to become a tree city.
Second,
So we have a motion by Commissioner Flater and a second by Commissioner Ortner to move forward with getting more information about becoming a tree city, as far as like costs and effort and all those sorts of things. Matt, if you can
It's all-
bring us back
Yeah,
that?
it's all free, so, it's honestly great. You can get trees, ball and burlaps, you can get saplings. All you're required is to have 2 community volunteer, events a year, one being on Arbor Day, and then the other one, whether it's cleanup or whatever, that, basically you gotta have 2 things that benefit the trees.
Okay.
And then for municipalities, it's free. Companies and stuff like that have to pay.
That sounds really cool. Thank
Yeah,
you
it
for
does.
mentioning that.
sounds fun. Good for our
And we do
village.
that at.
We're one of
with
the only
city.
towns in St. Croix County that is not a tree city and doesn't receive funding from Arbor Day.
Well, not for long. Thank you again.
This committee going after it.
That's awesome. Okay. And so that motion passed, and I think that goes then to the board, or you can just move with that, Matt.
I'll ask Gina if it can
Okay.
move with it, we'll move it. It's gotta go to the board, we'll run it through the board, and I'll provide you with a motion statement.
Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. Anything else on the tree canopy, discussions or possible recommendations? Any other comments, questions? Nothing else? Okay, we're going to close that item, and we're going to go to number 6, park walkthrough update, discussion, and possible recommendations. So we have the park walkthrough summary, and then we also have the priorities for the budget planning, which is item 9. I will say that some of the things that we had identified, and also a community member had brought forth that there were no infant swings at Chief Jansen, and so that's already been resolved. They're purchased and installed, correct?
Yeah, yep, we put in a baby swing last week.
Awesome. I'm planning to use it this weekend with my little grandbaby. Anything else on walkthroughs that anyone wants to raise, or we'll just have that discussion at the budget?
I have
Go
one
ahead.
that came directly to me. I printed out a map. So on 7th Street North cul-de-sac, there's a little bike path that goes to Tom Thumb, what do they call it, Tom Thumb? Freedom, or whatever that gas station is now. BP. There's a little path. It's just wide enough kids take it to bike because there's no sidewalk on that stretch of 35. It terminates at Michelson. So they can take Michelson up and then go down 7th Street, and there's a little path. Well, the people who live next to it said that it's in too rough a shape. They're not gonna plow it anymore. Their snow blower can't make it over it. We require them to plow it, just like we require people to plow the sidewalks in front of their house. But they said it's not possible anymore. It is in pretty tough shape. So that does need to get addressed in the near future. Doesn't have to be this year, but it is getting pretty deteriorated in the ruts and stuff. So I've got a couple prices on that, and that's gonna be, trails are very expensive. I'm gonna put that out there. A 4-foot wide trail costs the same exact as a 10-foot wide road. Because there's about 2 companies in the area that have golf cart pavers that pave golf courses and do these trails. So the trail, you can't make it wider, so it is pretty costly. We're looking somewhere around $14,000 to fix that trail, unless they want to make it gravel, like the one on Cherry Circle, which I don't recommend because you just can't maintain them, and the only way to keep the weeds out is to put some sort of herbicide on there that's obviously people aren't huge fans of. So that would be my concern. I have the map here, if any of you guys wanted to take a look at it and see where you'd put it on your priorities. It's off of Summer Street, right next to the BP.
How long is that map?
That trail? Well, it would be 4 lots, so I'd say each lot's 90 feet wide, so probably 150 feet.
And right now, is it asphalt?
Yep,
It
yep,
is.
it's asphalt. And it is highly used because everybody who lives on that side of town, the little kids use that instead of having to ride on the shoulder of 35.
Can residents do stuff like that? If
What do you mean?
some people pulled together and like weeded it, cleaned it up? and
Oh, the
then-
asphalt is broken and it's like heaved
So
and
it
stuff. I
needs-
mean, the trail's
okay,
probably 40
it's
years
really
old.
bad. Okay.
So it would need to be kind of,
Redone.
the asphalt would have to come out, and there's some
Okay.
trees that need to be trimmed, but it is, if they were to put sidewalks down 35, it would probably be something we would get rid of, but I don't think that's anywhere in any plans, so it's kind of what keeps the kids off the highway.
So is that land, who owns that, or how is that zoned? Is that,
Is
that-
it's an easement, and so this is a house, a house, a house, and a house. I can pass this around, so there's literally houses, their yards come right
yeah,
up to the
right.
edge.
No, I know right where it is. I'm just confused about how it falls under parks. Is it because it's a trail?
Yep, it's a trail
Okay.
in the parks.
Okay.
That plan says that we're the ones who.
Got it.
So that would be kind of, if the parks wanted to take that on, that is something that was addressed by, I can't remember his name, but he lives off of St. Croix Street.
Okay, all right. Any other questions for Matt on the park walkthrough? Okay, we're going to close that item, and we're going to go to the 2025 Comprehensive Plan park goal review. So a
We
couple.
skipped 7.
Oops, I'm sorry. You're right. 7, park court use fee, discussion and possible recommendation. Oh, thank you. Item 7 was raised by a member, one of the park commissioners, asking that we consider adding a user fee to the pickleball courts at Summers Landing and potentially the other pickleball court. And I have had some conversation with Gina, our administrator, about that, and her feedback was that they really can't administer that, even if the park board thought that was a good idea, which we haven't made a recommendation about. It's not able to be administered. Matt, do you have any additional comments you want to make about that?
We'd be the only municipality in the area that would charge a usage fee. River Falls, Prescott, Hudson, New Richmond, none of them do on their public courts. Their private ones are a different story. We're talking about government, municipality owned. We'd be the only ones to do it. My staff does not have time to be the pickleball police to go and verify on our website that a reservation has been made constantly, so it'd just be unenforceable. So if we did do it, it'd have to be on the honor system, but the cost is there, the very minimal cost, because we didn't paint the courts, do stuff like that. It's just asphalt with white lines, so they're not we don't need to generate a ton of money to maintain them.
Does anyone want to make, I probably should have started with a recommendation. Does anyone want to make a recommendation about charging user fees for the pickleball court? Or make a recommendation that we do or don't charge so that we can put this item to rest?
I recommend that we do not charge
I second.
for pickleball court use.
So there was a recommendation by Commissioner Martinez that we do not charge for use of pickleball courts. It was seconded by Commissioner Ortner. Is there, let's take a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The motion carries to not charge for the pickleball courts. So we'll close item 7, go to item 8. Comprehensive plan, park goal review, discussion only. So I ask that this item be added just to bring to the awareness of the park board that the comprehensive plan, which is going to have public comment tomorrow at 5:30 and will potentially be voted on by the plan commission at that meeting, has multiple items in there about parks. And so I would encourage you, if you are interested, to take a look. The vision statement itself, the second paragraph of the vision statement, talks about our parks. It's part of the vision of the village, and again, this is a small segment, is to preserve and create a walkable, accessible community with public access to the natural environment, including parks and water by trails and paths. So that is one of the visions of our village. And then there are multiple areas in the plan that talk about land use, including the issue that we talked about earlier this evening regarding what land is zoned conservancy. Conservancy land is available for parks, and the comprehensive plan actually recommends expanding the land that's zoned for conservancy in the village. We don't know if that's going to be favorably viewed or approved, so that's something to consider. And if you want to come tomorrow and make comment, you certainly can. And then there's other sections that have the goals for parks. So it's really very pertinent to our committee. The comprehensive plan is to be used by the plan commission, by the village board, really to help set policy and priorities for budget. So it's really important. And once we find out if it passes or doesn't pass, we can really help use that to refer to for developing and updating the park plan, so that it's all compliant or all conform, so that it's all coherent and it makes one plan and we're all rowing in the same direction. So I would really encourage you to take a look, and if you're interested, tomorrow at 5:30 is the public comment. Okay, any questions, further comments?
No, I just can't make it then.
Completely understandable. You certainly can send your comments or feedback to And then let's go to next item. We're going to close that item on comprehensive plan, and we're going to go to the capital, item 9, 2025 Parks Capital Budget Request Discussion and Possible Recommendations. So everybody has, maybe you don't, John. Everybody has the grid for what this is the walkthrough that we did for the parks. And the recommendations and the recommendations that have been provided by park board members to date. And I took that very giant Excel spreadsheet and compressed it to just the capital items that were on there for us to, I think we should first decide what items we think should happen next year and what items then we want to prioritize for the budget. And then next month we can vote on the actual budget. So there were a few things that already passed this year because there were some resources that were available. And I'm going to just set these over here if anyone in the audience, since I have some extras, if anybody wants to take a look.
So Chief Jansen, we can cross off infant swings.
Infant swing.
We can cross off infant swings, and that did not come out of the park budget. That came out of administrative, another source of administrative funding. So for Chief Jansen, we have trail swings, infant swings, sand removal, teeter-totter, rope climbing nets, rock wall, monkey bars, bridges, spinning equipment, and bench. And those were things that have been recommended by email and comments. Browns Beach, the parking spots, which Matt can talk more about during his time, were already voted on and approved by the board at the last board meeting. Deer Run, we had benches. Eaglewood, we had benches. Ferry Landing, the new pavilion, or actually, is it new or remodeled? What do we call that? Updated?
Ferry Landing,
Yeah.
nothing.
Nothing?
The
Maintenance.
Chief Jansen was the one that we remodeled the pavilion on.
Okay, so, but Ferry Landing still needs
Yes.
a remodel? Or is it a new pavilion or a
The
remodel?
pavilion it's kind of at the point where it should be replaced. There's a couple things we could do to it to extend the life of it, a couple years, but ultimately I'd say within the next 5 years the building will be at the point where it needs replacement. The bathrooms, as we talked about at the previous meeting, it's so outdated that our toilets and stuff, we have to special order them. If a toilet breaks, it takes over 6 months to get one because they're mount to the wall, not the floor. They're just really goofy. The pipe, the plumbing in there, we fix it, I would say, a couple times a year. Every time there's a leak, we cut out the bad spot and replace it. It needs all new plumbing. So both of those things there would be a decision have to be made. Are we gonna put a lot of money into a remodel, or are we gonna try to replace them? Remodels and stuff like that can get a little bit expensive because it's harder to seek grant money for that kind of stuff, because a lot of the old buildings and the old stuff doesn't meet the requirements of the grants. So that's kind of a decision I think that would be made by this committee after we can find out what sort of funding is available for the parks with, and see how much and what we can drum up to make those things happen. It is in the works with the DNR and Cedar Corps as just an informational meeting. I believe Mary is going to it to figure out what sort of funding we can get from the state and federal government to do some of these bigger projects. And that, it's in September.
Yep.
Is doing that
Yep.
meeting, and then that's kind of when we'll have some real information on, are we gonna try to fix stuff, or are we gonna try to put it, but most of the grants are, you can use them on a park. We can't take a bunch of money and put it towards 15 different parks. So if it is approved, if there is funding, that's when you guys would come in and decide with the committees that are formed which park we want to attack. The easiest one to get funding for will be Ferry's Landing, because there's so many grants for parks on water. It's harder to get the federal dollars for parks that aren't on water. There's just not much out there.
Just going back up to Browns Beach for a second.
We
Or do you
can.
wanna go through the whole list?
So this is actually a board discussion, so we'd be happy to hear your comments after the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So electricity at Ferry Landing is also on the list, fishing docks and benches. Then we've got benches for Glen Oaks, benches for Jen and Gary and Jensen, bench for Malibu, benches for Partridge, increased skate rink size for the Pepperfest Park, kayak launch on Riverside Drive, nothing for Station Circle because it's an undeveloped park. Summers Landing, a path to Ferry Landing. If you're familiar with that, there is a overgrown wooded path that goes down to Ferry Landing. Restoration of the park grounds. They've been damaged from using them for storage for lumber that after we had a lot of trees down. Baseball backstop and benches. Webster developed, this is not there, State Park, rock wall and benches. Woodcrest, new playground equipment, like gog ball and a bench. Those are the kinds of feedback that we've had. So board. What are you thinking about what the priorities would be for next year? Do you want to go by item or by park? Focus on one park, pick a couple things from two different parks? What are you thinking would be prioritization?
So I would think, personally, start at where people want to be, aka the river, and then move up, you know. So I'm looking at like Ferry's Landing and Summers Landing as would be my top priorities. Because I feel like those are the parks that probably get used the most. Just because everyone loves to be by the river.
What about though residential areas up farther?
I'm just
Jansen,
talking about for next year, depending on how much funding we can get. I'm not saying no to those. I'm just saying to start, depending on how much funding you get. I mean, if you want to put a new pavilion in, that's going to be hundred thousands of dollars. If we can get that, that's where I would start. Benches and stuff like that. In the city I work for, we do memorial benches that people can sponsor, and that could be an idea, especially if that's what I see a lot of here. If anyone would be interested in doing like a memorial bench for
That's a good idea.
somebody.
We do have them currently,
Okay.
so that is something that can absolutely be done. There's one in Chief Jansen called Betty's Bench. So that is absolutely something that we do offer already, that if it was utilized, we could do.
So I'm hearing we're not wanting to prioritize benches, that we want to look at some other options for that. John is suggesting focusing on Ferry Landing and Summers Landing, the river areas. I will say I've heard from, we've had people come here and give public comment months on end, and I've also gotten emails from people about Chief Jansen and the equipment not being appropriate for a multi-age. And I really was struck by email from someone last week about the fact that they take their kids to go to other communities to play in the parks because they have more opportunity for more varied equipment. And I thought, we could have a destination park.
I brought up the others. I understand the Riverway,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of people with young children that don't get down by the river. So I think that's why I
balance.
just brought a balance of what about fixing these parks so the families with young kids have a place to go and do things too.
Where would you set a priority for a park for kids' equipment?
Maybe changing out like Chief Jansen, equipment-wise, just updating.
Well, is there any equipment we can take from Chief Jansen and put in another park?
Um,
Like move it around and then put something new in Chief Jansen?
The thing about this playground equipment is it's all on
expensive.
footings, so the frost doesn't pop it up. There's a lot more to it than one thinks. It's not just bore a hole and move a swing. So these things gotta stay level and all this stuff, so
Okay.
And a lot of these companies, I've contacted them to get prices. There's no warranty if we do it. It's got to be a certified installer, which makes tons of sense because I'm not a playground installer. I would just be
Right.
winging it and watching YouTube videos.
Or
So-
if we take the-
Well, I mean, and that's the reality if we were gonna do it. So they don't allow, a lot of them don't allow it. Chief Jansen and Ferry's Landing, if I forwarded you guys all my voicemails and emails, are my number 2 parks addressed by residents.
Which ones?
Ferry's Landing and Chief Jansen.
There
The
is.
second, the hot ticket now, which I guess the park board has created this by inviting so many members, is people want a bathroom at Summers because nobody wants to play pickleball and have to drive to the gas station. That, I would say, might even be inching ahead of the other two as far as requests that come in, because like, nobody wants to host their pickleball, like events where they have, pickleball night or the pickleball associations meet on Tuesdays. We're not an ideal candidate for that because there's nowhere to go to the restroom.
We need to add that on the list.
We
as
do,
well.
we do.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a new one
Even
that's just been coming in the last
taking
2 months since they've been done.
You really can't have an effective park without a bathroom in some ways.
Even some of the equipment requests at Chief Jansen and putting that, I know it's expensive, and that's the thing too that we're trying to explain. And put it in other parks. So there's other parks, so they're not going somewhere else to go to a park, another town, but people have requested the rope climbing nets or a rock wall or monkey bars somewhere else. There is one down at Ferry Landing. I think that's the only one, is there some up
What's at Ferry Landing?
monkey bars? Well, there's super high ones.
Yeah, there's a couple different places that
Yeah.
have, a lot of it's, I'd say 70s era
Yeah,
park equipment.
yeah.
So it's solid. It'll be there for another 100 years. It's just pretty archaic and not,
Outdated.
I don't think it's what people are looking for.
I would say my grandkids who are used to going to Hudson River Falls, they're like,
Yeah.
I know,
So,
but.
I know,
it's so
I know
expensive.
Matt and I kind of, or I brought up the idea to Matt, like, is there any way we could do a splash pad at any of the parks?
We did talk about that, but
Yeah,
liability
Yeah.
and insurance.
Well, I mean, that would be no different than a rock wall.
I think
Kids
that that's
falling.
something that
I
we
think they
should
might like
put
the
on the
plank,
list.
Just a small one, so the kids.
I'm thinking like a big tall
No,
rock wall. But,
It's very, very, very hard to,
maintenance.
one-time purchases are easy.
Yep.
Our tax base doesn't grow. It's very hard to do stuff like splash pads. I'm just gonna shoot you all straight.
Oh, and in maintenance.
Anything that requires a monthly bill to maintain is just, I don't wanna say impossible, because some of these towns are doing it. Takes 20 years to get there, but they're growing towns that have net new construction. We can't grow. I would love to have a water park, a splash pad, a castle for everything, but it's just that our tax base does not support that. That's the unfortunate thing. We can afford to put it in, but we can't afford to have the recurring cost to maintain it. The water we pay for, all that stuff, a splash pad is an awesome goal. I would love it. I support it. I have kids that would use it. Boy, that'd be
it'd be great.
hard. It'd be hard.
So, well, I don't know. I guess for me, I would say the bathroom at Summers Landing. Maybe something at.
I'm hearing upgrade the bathroom at Summers Landing is number 1. Number 2 is equipment upgrade at Chief Jansen. John, you had put, when you said Ferry Landing, what thing were you thinking was the priorities there?
I like the new pavilion and new bathrooms, in the fishing dock.
And you would put that above equipment upgrades at Chief Jansen?
I wouldn't know if I put it above, but it'd be those two would be in my top. You know,
Bathroom, did you say fishing?
Fishing dock.
Fishing dock and the pavilion. Okay, and Michelle?
Summer's Landing, bathroom. Chief Jansen. And depending on what we could get for grant or money-wise, Ferry Landing,
Ferry Landing bathroom?
pavilion.
Ferry Landing pavilion. Oh, so you put Summers Landing bathroom
Yes.
before Ferry Landing?
Yeah,
Summer.
well, they're kind of both the same in there. Oh, we have to have them numbered. Bathroom, number 1, Summer's Landing, bathroom.
Okay,
2, Chief Jansen update, 3, pavilion.
no,
Sooner or later, we're gonna have to do a pavilion at Ferry Landing. And that is used a lot.
right.
so no bathroom at Ferry Landing on your list?
If that's in there, I guess, depending
So
how
that'd be
much we-
4, that'd be a 4 for you? Okay.
Well, it would save money, I guess.
Right, I'm just
Do
saying
it
those
all
would
in-
be my top 2 or 3, just to kind of start the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Although getting some of this feedback from Matt, you know, I can reevaluate that.
Okay. I'm just trying to look at where we have things the same. And Mona, you thought Summers Landing bathroom before Ferry Landing, too?
Yes.
Okay, so we got two Summers.
There isn't one there
There isn't
currently,
one.
so.
I'm going to ask everyone between this meeting and next meeting to go to the bathroom at
Ferry
Ferry
Landing.
Landing.
And they're closed down in the
I'll pass.
winter, correct? That is a question.
potty there. The
I
Ferry's
asked-
Landing bathrooms are closed in the winter.
In the
That
winter.
doesn't mean that people, because that's the number one spot for getting onto the river for ice fishing. It's right across from the bait store / liquor store. It is packed. They still use the bathroom, just not in a bathroom.
Okay,
So
yeah,
that's why the new bathrooms would be
year round.
ideal to have 4-season, things like that. That would make it,
That would save too then, and would that be combined, the pavilion and bathroom at Ferry Landing as a one?
One,
well, these are decisions that would get made by you guys. I have no
Okay.
say in this, whatever you guys choose. Most cost effective is one building with bathrooms versus 2 separate buildings. So that would be most cost effective. That's
So
the
I would
most-
aim for that,
yeah.
as far as Ferry Landing,
We'd
doing
probably
both
need
the
engineering
pavilion and the
designs.
bathroom as one project.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so we moved to Ferry Landing Pavilion and bathroom is number 1, Chief Jansen Equipment Update number 2, and Summers Landing bathroom number 3?
I think Summers
think
Landing needs
Summers
to
is
be
one.
one. Summers
Summers is
Landing,
one for me.
Oh, Summers is 1? I'm
Yes.
sorry, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Chief Jansen, 2, and the Ferry Landing combo, depending on what we can get, budget.
John,
John?
I like it.
Summers Landing first and Ferry Landing second?
The thing with Ferry's Landing that concerns me would be the cost. So wherever we can get them most for that, if that might be a 2-3 years out
Right.
plan. So yes, I would go Summers Landing first, then Chief Jansen, and then Ferry's Landing. And if we're gonna look at a pavilion, bathrooms, combined building, let's make sure we do our homework.
And that's a good statement because all these grants have a let date of 2028. So you
Gives us
choose to
time.
do it in 26, plan it in 27, execution in 28. So that's, anything that, if we went for grants, it would be a 3-year turnaround till you see, ground getting broke.
Okay.
And
just
can we
like
put
Brownsville.
something out, to residents about sponsoring benches at this list of parks?
Yeah, I think we
I can talk
can.
to Gina, that,
Yeah.
I don't have anything to
Thank
do
you.
with the social media, but I can have her look at it.
It could even go on the website, you know, where she's got some stuff. I mean, I think also we've talked at previous meetings and not in depth today, but we really need, like a Friends of the Park. We need like some sort of group to help keep advising on things that need to be done and try to engage people in things that people can get engaged in.
Yeah.
I think we
if
got
we
our
give them a list
chairperson
of
right in the front
parks.
there.
Sarah's been great at that.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I think if we give them a list of parks and say, you know, these parks are available for somebody to sponsor a bench and, you know, maybe we'll get half of them
Yeah.
done that way or whatever.
Right.
So the things that we're talking about are pretty big capital things. Is there anything that we are missing, like Matt said, like 3-year plans, right? They aren't gonna happen tomorrow. Is there anything that we are thinking about or that we could think about that would give us some outcome in a year? Like something that would actually happen next year, so we aren't waiting to have any changes for 3 years?
Absolutely, the removal of the mulch, or the sand and putting in mulch at not just Chief Jansen, but also Summers, where they both have sand under the playgrounds. Switching them out to wood chips is, I mean, probably
A
15
doable thing?
About $3,000.
At Chief Jansen, and what was the other one?
Summers. And that'll also take care of the sand burr issue that people are complaining about at Summers
Yeah.
going through there. If we put the wood chips in there, sand burrs that don't grow in wood.
So we could maybe make that almost number one.
Yeah, yep.
1A.
But that's something that that's not like a capital purchase, that's something that will go into maintenance. So
Maintenance?
we'll
Oh,
just fund
okay.
our park funds
Oh,
with that. So
okay.
I think this is your one-time purchase of your big
Okay,
expenses.
okay, all right, okay.
Think wood chips are the best option or rubber mulch? Yeah, even though I know that's way more expensive, but,
It floats away.
okay.
It's hard. If we had, you know, these super parks with concrete walls around them, but they're hard and they get stolen.
Yep.
Rubber mulch does?
Oh, yeah. There's wheelbarrows missing of the rubber mulch and the wood chips every week.
Really?
Well, yeah, why buy it when you can steal it?
Wow.
Isn't that a shame?
Okay, all right.
I guess.
Any other things that we should have that are smaller items for the capital? Any other small items?
Well, I mean, isn't some of the playground equipment, wouldn't that be a smaller item for Chief Jensen? I mean, that would be smaller, wouldn't it?
Break
Maybe,
that down.
Maybe, so, okay,
I think that'd be capital.
I don't see anything on there that'd be under 10,000.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
so if we did that though, it would be possible to have anything done next year?
Oh, yeah, because we can ask for money out of the unassigned.
Okay.
It's just, there's not
Okay.
gonna be grant money that we
Got
can
it.
get. But you can ask for as much
Got it.
out of the unassigned as you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Finance will knock it down and tell you what you can have, or they'll say yes or no.
Then we could go ahead and plunk away at Chief Jansen
Yeah.
and, okay.
So even though these other things are higher priorities, they're gonna be longer-term projects because of the funding complications. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
I think Chief Jansen's your best bet to get something done quickly.
Yeah,
I don't want to say pretty cheap, but
right.
within a fiscal responsibility way. The other ones are going to be,
Well, maybe we should just say that's number one then, and then put Summers Landing bathroom number 2.
And the other one that would be easy would be to increase the skate rink size, that goes behind the building here, the ice skating rink for
Yeah.
the kids. Because we don't have to buy a whole nother rink, we can just buy additional of them ice rink panels to make it bigger and wider. Last year we talked about it, and to make it the size that we want, it'll be about an extra 1,600.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's pretty
We can
pretty
do that.
manageable
Okay.
to do that. And
Can we get
that's
a
just
sample?
more of the white panels that snap together that we put the liner in.
Okay,
can we get a Zamboni? I can maintain it.
such a great thought. Okay, and so what we'll do next time is take a vote on on that and move it forward to the Finance Committee for budgeting. So that will still keep us on track, right, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll get it written up in a motion. Doesn't mean that we can't amend it or change it. And maybe we can put some dollar figures behind some of those so that we can,
Yeah, I can get
yeah,
bids or estimates.
awesome, okay. Anything else about the capital budget? All right, so stay tuned for September. We're gonna vote on
That's
this and
exciting.
move it forward.
That's exciting, you know that?
It is exciting. You know what? I just realized we talked about the 2026, and we really, the only thing that I had to say about the 2025 is that we already approved that, that the board approved the parking lot, and I don't think there was anything on the Emerald Ash Borer, but there was nothing else from 2025. Is that right? Anything else that you want, that we should consider for this actual current year? Because Gina was talking about things
We
moving
did
forward.
pickleball courts and the basketball hoops this year. So I think that covered all of our 25 projects.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I went out of order.
It was on there.
Okay, director updates. Matt's up. Again.
Baby swing we put up, we're working on the boat launch, what do we call it, pedestrian wall down at Ferry's Landing, getting that fixed up from all the rain that came out. Browns Beach, there has been some erosion issues on it. It is under warranty. They are being addressed by the contractor. I welcome all the calls if there's any issues with it, and we will continue to forward them on to the contractor. They have been very diligent about getting them fixed. Once there's vegetation established, then the ground's just not gonna wash like it has been. It just takes a while to get the roots in there. Other than that, there's not too much.
Can you talk a little bit, Matt, about the parking lot that's envisioned for Brown Beach, where it would be, if
Yeah.
there's trees that are gonna be taken out for that?
So there's one tree that has to come out.
Hours?
Yeah, there's one tree that has to come out additionally. The trees and undergrowth were already removed when Zappa had to make a staging area to do the retaining wall and all the grading work down there. So there'll be the board approved a parking lot to go in there to have off-street parking. I'm not sure how, we do plow that road. We go down it every snowstorm. Garbage trucks, I don't know. I don't know if they go down there or not.
Where do you put your garbage? Out at the end? You do, okay.
Kind of in my yard.
So, yep, it's all in the village right away up there. Anybody can put their garbage can in village right away. And and we do plow it. That is Village Street. We do plow Third Ave. We've always
I
maintained.
apologize, I misspoke then. I kind of meant like the big plow trucks. I know you guys parked the trailer out there, and I do see you guys
Okay.
plowing that with the
Not
smaller.
trying to be rude, I
Yeah.
cannot communicate
No,
with
that's
you,
okay.
and
I
you
just-
cannot communicate with me in this portion.
Sorry.
So I don't want to get myself in trouble here. So we do plow and maintain that. We get an overwhelming amount of phone calls from people when they're parked there and blocking driveways and can't get in and out. Anything from a FedEx truck can't get in there and they're not allowed to leave their truck in the road, to all sorts of different complaints over the last, I don't know, I started here in 2014. Took a brief absence and came back, but we've been receiving these calls since 2014 that the parking's bad, and when we can't get a plow truck down there when people are doing the on-street parking, or our big loaders down there to maintain it. It's just such a narrow road. Nobody intentionally blocks anybody's driveway, but a lot of people don't look down there and realize there's multiple houses down there, and it's just kind of the best approach to alleviate all the issues we've had over the years.
So am I right, Matt, that the time that the park closes would be the time that the parking lot closes as well?
Same with all of our
And that's,
parks.
it's 9? Is that right? Something like that?
I'm not familiar with the time, but I know it is at a reasonable amount of time. I think it mirrors our quiet hours.
sounds right. Okay, so there would not allow, there's no overnight parking, there's no parking past the time that the park would close.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Does anyone else have any questions for the director? Public Works, Park, everything?
Remind us what that is then. So that's parking during the summer, beach hours. How about in the winter?
We're probably not gonna plow it in the winter until it's time for us to put snow there, and then we would pile the snow from the cul-de-sacs there.
Have you done that before, recently? Or,
Where we pile the snow. Last year we didn't, and previous year we did not pile snow anywhere, because there was
Have
no
any,
winter. The
yeah.
previous years, yep, we have.
You have put
And we used
snow
to put it in Summers Park, but as we've seen, it just destroys the grass there, so having a hard packed surface would be ideal to put it.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, we're going to go, anything else, Matt?
Nope.
Okay, we're going to close that item. Future agenda items, so we'll have Bike and Pedestrian Trail Coalition update. We'll have another tree canopy update, correct? We will have park walkthrough updates, anything that any of the commissioners have noted or have heard from other residents about. We will talk about the 2026 capital budget and make a recommendation to the board and director updates. Anything else? Okay. Hearing nothing, this meeting of the park board for the village is concluded at 7:02 p.m. Thank you.